There's a certain comfort to know that the promises made will be kept by the government. You don't have to worry.
That's good, because I work 3 jobs and I feel like I contribute.
You work 3 jobs?
3 jobs, yes.
You work uniquely American, isn't it? I mean, that is fantastic that you're doing that. Get any sleep?
Get any sleep?
You're working hard to put food on your family.
I know the human being and fish can coexist peacefully.
If this were a dictatorship, it'd be a heck of a lot easier. Just so long as I'm the dictator. There are some who feel like that, the conditions are such that they can attack us there. My answer is bring them on.
The program's legal. It's designed to protect civil liberties, and it's necessary.
Our enemies are innovative and resourceful, and so are we. They never stop thinking about new ways to harm our country and our people, and neither do we.
This is an impressive crowd, the haves and the have-mores. Some people call you the elite. I call you my base. In my line of work, you got to keep repeating things over and over and over again for the truth to sink in. To kind of catapult the propaganda. In terms of the detainees, we've had thousands of people detained. We've investigated every single complaint against the detainees. It seemed like to me they based some of their decisions on the word of and the allegations by people who were held in detention, people who hate America, people that have been trained in some instances to disassemble. That means not tell the truth. And so it's an absurd report. It just is. And, yes, sir. We cannot let terrorists and rogue nations hold this nation hostile or hold our allies hostile.
You bet I cut the taxes at the top. That encourages entrepreneurship. We Republicans should stand for its growth in the economy. We ought to make the pie higher.
You want to be blunt about what is taking place. Sometimes when you don't measure, you just shuffle kids through. Then you wake up at the high school level and find out that the literacy level of our children are falling.
Now, I'm campaigning in Chicago, and somebody asked me, is there ever any time where the budget might have to go into deficit? I said, only if we were at war or had a national emergency or in a recession. Little did I realize we'd get the trifecta.
Little did I realize we'd get the trifecta.
So I hear the voices, and I read the front page, and I know the speculation, but I'm the decider, and I decide what is best, and what's best is for Don Rumsfeld to remain as the Secretary of Defense.
There's a lot of fine print in your plan, Mr. Vice President, in all due respect. It is, I'm not so sure 80% of the people get the death tax. I know this, 100% will get it if I'm the president, I think so.
First, let me make it very clear, poor people aren't necessarily killers. Just because you happen to be not rich doesn't mean you're willing to kill.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, "Fool me once, shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again."
Well, the FBI has been empowered by law to carry out egregious assaults against basic civil liberties. The Obama administration has not found it within them to even restore habeas corpus. They have supported the warrantless wiretapping and eavesdropping on tens of millions of Americans through the FISA Reform Act. They torture openly, not only Bradley Manning, but those detainees in our offshore penal colonies from Guantanamo to Bagram. It is an utter destruction of the legal basis by which a democracy is sustained. And the FBI functions as the kind of jackboots that goes out and enforces it. And so, yeah, the FBI is a problem, but what's really happened is an utter corrosion and destruction of the legal framework that once protected the rights of ordinary men and women. Of course, but I think that we've got to find a mechanism by which journalists are paid the same way musicians are paid and actors are paid, and this is part of the pernicious effect of the internet, is that the only thing we pay for anymore in this country is public relations and corporate management, and everybody else is expected to work without a salary. We don't, and at its core, we won't pay for beauty or truth. Those are fringe commodities within a corporate culture where everything is utilitarian and vocational. So that's why I would not write for and always remain a fierce opponent of the Huffington Post, because it's the abuse of either unpaid or cheap, poorly paid, non-unionized labor, that small skeletal staff she has, and then she sells it for $350 million. It's exploitive.